Representative Moore, tell me what drove you to finally stand up on Thursday and deliver that great speech on the floor?
Listen, Joy, I had not even planned to speak, but I was infuriated to hear my colleagues in a very disingenuous way suggest that the only services that Planned Parenthood offered people were terminations of pregnancy, and to really project so many lies and misrepresentations. Planned Parenthood is part of why we're all standing here today. These have been hard-fought rights, human and civil rights, to determine your own destiny and to have control over your own lives. Yeah. And I wasn't about to just sit still in my seat and listen to people with their own corporate interests, their only spin on American values set the tone.
Good for you. Thank you for doing that. Cecile, explain to people who are watching what the Republicans want to take away from Planned Parenthood, which, by the way, everybody out there should know that there is no federal funding for abortion. We are not talking about abortion here. We're talking about what? What do they want to take away?
That's right. Well, 97% of Planned Parenthood services, which are preventive care, cancer screenings for breast and cervical cancer, birth control, STD testing and treatment. For so many women who come to Planned Parenthood, 60% of them, we're the only doctor or medical care they'll receive all year, and it's their basic preventive care, and that's what the Republican leadership last week stripped from millions of American women.
Okay, now, Representative Moore, where do these Republicans expect these women to go if they can't go to Planned Parenthood anymore? Where are they going to get these services?
I can tell you that we have seen a constant thing that if they don't have anywhere to go, so be it. We asked them that same question about protecting clean air and clean water. They stripped the funds from that. Mr. Grainer was asked where people were going to go, like these workers here. Hundreds of thousands of people who are losing not only their jobs but their rights. And their mantra is so be it. I do think that so be it is their mantra. And so we're seeing a very corporatist climate emerging. And this is why I'm so glad to see people hit the streets. We're out here in freezing cold weather here in Wisconsin. We're used to it, and there's nothing that's going to stop us from speaking up for our human rights and workers' rights. This is what it means to be an American.
Do you think, Congresswoman, that so be it really means we don't care? Who cares? Is that what so be it really means?
That's what so be it means. And, I have, there are buttons that many members are wearing that say so be it on it. Because that's the thing, that's the message that many of our colleagues and our colleagues on the other side want to convey. I do think it's important to realize that it's a double message to say that you don't want to support Planned Parenthood services, and then at the same time you want to repeal the health care law, and so not provide any medical services for women at all. To say that you want to zero out WIC, women and infants and children's funding for food, and then say that you want children to be born. And I think that their message is inevitably, then so be it. If these children die. They care very much for children in the womb, but boy, Junior, once you crown, once you're born, you are part of the ownership society. Right. You're on your own.
Oh, they don't seem to care about it. After the child is born, it's like caution to the wind. But I think that one of the things I think is going on is, even though Planned Parenthood, Cecile, doesn't offer abortions for with taxpayer money. Right. The fact is that Planned Parenthood does provide abortion if you pay for it yourself, right? Correct. Or if insurance pays for it. Correct. Is that the real reason that they're targeting Planned Parenthood, because of the abortion services?
I think I think we saw that in Congress last week, where they basically said, look, if you would just quit providing this legal service that some women need, and again, it's a very small part of what we do, but we believe it's an important service to women. Yeah. If you would just quit doing that, we would give you all the family planning money that you possibly could need. And I think that's the cynicism of all of this, is it's really taking women's health care and making it a very political issue.
Yes, well, they've always done that. They've always done that.
But that's what I think is the result of, and I think you really spoke to this, what's going to happen as a result of this. If this bill would ever becomes law, millions of women in this country are going to lose their health care access, not to abortion services, to basic family planning, mammograms, cancer screenings,
all the things that women need and people can't afford.
Exactly. That's the irony of this, is that we just spent this last year talking about the need to get more people health care coverage. Millions of women now would have absolutely no health care coverage in this country and nowhere to go.
But it's illogical what they're doing, because if you are not going to help people with birth control, you're going to have more abortions. Don't they think of that?
Well, and I thought that point came up.
Besides being evil and immoral and unethical, they're also stupid.
Well, I think Congressman Lynch was fabulous last week. He opposes abortion, but he spoke in defense of Planned Parenthood because he said, Planned Parenthood does more to prevent unintended pregnancy than any other organization in America. So let's fund Planned Parenthood, get family planning to women so we can reduce unintended pregnancy in America.
Exactly.
1 in 5 women, Joy, come to Planned Parenthood at some point in their lifetime. We are a mainstream provider. We are an value in this country. And I think what we're seeing, the backlash since the vote in the House has been unbelievable. I just counted, we've had 466,000 women who have emailed Congress just since Friday saying, you cannot eliminate Planned Parenthood from the public health care system.
What else can outrage women and citizens, and men and women, of course, who are watching? What else can we all do? Well, because sometimes, you're sitting at home and you hear this. Go ahead, Gwen, you want to talk. Let's see what she has to say.
Well, Joy, I think the other piece of this is that it's the law of the land. I mean, and I think Representative Lynch really pointed that out. Whether you believe in abortion or not, many people don't have abortions, and it's totally untrue that abortion clinics and Planned Parenthood are spread all over the inner city where black people live. That is absolutely not true. But whether you believe in it or not, this is what has made America great, is that we have freedoms and we have rights here. This is what everybody in the entire world is trying to emulate now.
Exactly.
And so that you can get your own private health care. Planned Parenthood is so essential. There are many women who would never know that they had cancer if there weren't for Planned Parenthood.
Before we